All right, welcome to day 6 of the Applied Notion Blueprint. For the last 5 days, we've laid the groundwork and built the entire interconnected structure of our digital workspace. Today, we install the brain. So, yesterday, we connected the nervous system. Today, we're giving it a brain. Are you ready to flip that switch? Because what we're about to do is, well, it's a fundamental upgrade. We're turning our system from just a passive place to store information into a truly intelligent, autonomous work OS, one that thinks, analyzes, and works for us. So, how do we do that? First things first, we really have to wrap our heads around the massive shift that Formula 2.0 brings to the table. And look, this isn't just some minor feature update, no. This is a complete redefinition of Notion's core DNA. Think about it. For the longest time, Notion formulas were basically just calculators, right? You could do 2 plus 2, which was fine, useful, but pretty limited. Now, with Formula 2.0, we're jumping from simple arithmetic straight into system architecture. We're talking about a language that lets us design and bake complex logic right into the very fabric of our workflow. And this is the key takeaway, really. We're not just calculating numbers anymore. We are computing outcomes. We're writing instructions that can sift through data, understand relationships, and even change what we see on the screen. It's like turning every single one of our databases into its own little custom-built piece of software. Okay, so let's get into our first pillar to see how this works. To build an intelligent system, we have to teach it how to think, and that means processing logic in clear, simple, and readable steps. Our main tools for this are the let and lets functions. Now, don't just think of these as a temporary scratchpad. It's more like you're teaching the formula to think step by step. Instead of trying to write one giant monster formula that's impossible to read, you can break it down. You define a step, give it a name, and then build on it. It makes everything so much easier to build. And believe me, so much easier to fix when something goes wrong. And what's so cool about this is how it mimics the way we solve problems, right? We don't just magically get the answer. We break it down. Okay, first, let's find all the active projects. Got it. Next, out of that group, which ones are urgent? And finally, let's just count them up. See, this structured, step-by-step thinking, that's the absolute foundation for building powerful, reliable automations. All right, so our system can now think in logical steps. That's huge. The next step? Teaching it how to search with surgical precision. I mean, look at our master projects database. It's just this sea of information, this huge data set. But its real power isn't just in the data it holds. It's in our ability to ask it super specific questions and get answers back instantly and automatically. And for this, we have 2 tools that are absolute game changers. First, you've got Filter. Think of it like a sieve. You tell it what you're looking for, and it just keeps the stuff that matches your criteria. Everything else falls away. Then you've got Map. This is like a magnifying glass. It goes over every item your sieve just caught and pulls out one specific detail you need. Maybe it's the project name or a due date or its status. And what's the result? Boom! A clean, simple list of exactly what you asked for. In this case, just the overdue project names, pulled instantly from a totally different database. This is it. This is where that nervous system we built back on day 5 finally gets its intelligence. We're turning all that connected data into insights we can actually use. But a truly smart system doesn't just crunch numbers in the background. It needs to communicate with us. It should be able to guide our attention to what's important, and it can do that by baking signals right into the interface. So, with the style function, we can make our data literally change its appearance based on its value. Check this out. Project budget is at 95% remaining. It's green. Clear signal, right? All systems go. But then, let's say it drops to 45%. The data itself turns yellow. This isn't just decoration, it's the system giving us an immediate, gut-level cue that says, hey, you might want to keep an eye on this. And finally, at a critical point, like 5%, it turns bright red. It's screaming urgency. The system is telling us the priority, the context, everything, and we didn't even have to read the number, we just knew. So which project needs your attention right now? The answer is just obvious, isn't it? The system is doing the thinking for us. It's taking work off our plate, freeing up our brain power, and helping us make decisions way faster. Honestly, one good formula can be more powerful than a long, boring report. Okay, let's bring all this together for our fourth and final pillar. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about writing cool, clever formulas. The real goal here is to build a system that basically runs itself, a system that eliminates the biggest risk factor of all, us, human error. When we embed our rules, our business logic, right into the database itself, the system becomes self-regulating. It enforces its own rules. Calculations are always correct. Routine checks happen automatically. It's like we're building these incredible guardrails that just make the whole operation stronger and more reliable. And this is such a critical point. Your role completely changes. You're not just plugging in data anymore. You're not a data entry clerk. You are a systems architect. You're the one designing the logic that makes the entire workspace tick. And that really brings us full circle, doesn't it? Back on day 5, the relations we built were like the nervous system, connecting everything and letting signals travel around. Well, today, we connected all those nerves to a central brain, a logic engine that can actually understand those signals, think about them, and take action. Yeah, to help you get started building all this amazing stuff, the Blueprint has a complete formula cheat card waiting for you on page 39. Seriously, think of it as your toolkit. It's got everything you need to start pushing the boundaries of what your system can do, like right now. So the big question is, now that your system has a brain, what are you going to teach it to solve first? The architecture is there. The engine is running. What you do with it now, well, that's completely up to you.